So I invite to the stage Kateryna Portmann, who is a senior product manager at Hocoma AG. That is company headquartered in Switzerland and leading neuro rehabilitation market since 20 years. Kateryna also is an expert in medical innovation, scaling and investments in MedTech sector. Kateryna will be joined by Maksym Savchenko, CEO of Medical Technology. Maksym will have some insights and data to share from Ukrainian realities. And I will stay here. So, Kateryna, let's start from perhaps diving into what are the top trends in medical technology, briefly from European practice, from global practice, and then I will pass the word to Maksym to complement on Ukraine.
Absolutely. So, first of all, we all know that we have aging population. People live longer, but not necessarily healthier. So we have more strokes, we have more neurological disorders. Also, we have more information that patients would like to know about their treatments. They are using patient portals, they are becoming more advanced in terms of the treatment they would like to have, and they tell that to their doctors. Also, care moves from hospitals to home, because with chronic conditions, only partly it can be used in hospitals, and then most of the time patients are staying at home. And value-based healthcare is a big trend. How neurorehabilitation is reacting to that? They're introducing the telerehabilitation solutions. They can be used at home. They're introducing for engagement gamified solutions, robotics, that I can talk a lot because I'm working in robotics company, and also ER and VR is the big trend. And what we heard today, connectivity, digitalization, and use of big data is a big trend worldwide that makes data-driven decisions that are very important in healthcare.
Thank you, Kateryna. Maksym, which of these emerging technologies can you trace back in Ukraine?
Yeah, in Ukraine right now start the really important rehabilitation, and this market and potential growth, the technology which right now provided from the world start to grow, and Ukraine started here that we need it, and it's important because rehabilitation, it's much more long period for rehabilitation. It's not surgery, you just cut and you saw the results. Rehabilitation much more longer, and important at this moment after COVID, telerehabilitation started growth in the whole world, and in the Ukraine when the war started, a lot of doctors feel potential of telerehabilitation for the growing some new technologies, robotic exoskeleton. And of course, a lot of big data got collected. Right now, it's a huge potential to grow in the future, to do much more faster, and take solution how to step by step, grow and take successful results in the rehabilitation. So I think so we should do integrated new technologies in the market, and testing the Ukrainian patients and help in this situation right now with the injury patients. So it's perfect.
Okay, to the devil advocate. What are the gaps and challenges that you're facing? What are the gaps and challenges that Ukrainian medical community is facing in terms of adoption of the emerging technologies? What are the problems? What is missing? What is lacking?
Of course, huge problem right now in the specialists. We work in this moment, and we try to teach, we try to inform more information, send more information for the clinics, but it's really important, and at this moment we start to create some institutes, some knowledge, updating more database of the knowledge of the new technologies in the world, and clinics start to hear and feeling that much more better results in the future. We can grow, we can create, but we should update all base of devices in the clinics, and the rehabilitation focus on this in the technologies.
Yeah, shortage of the care workers and physiotherapists is a global problem, and that's partly why for thousands of devices that are installed worldwide from our company, we're collecting data with the best possible protocols to make the recommendation engines for the therapists from Switzerland, from US, from countries where performance and outcomes are the best, and to recommend in countries like Ukraine the treatments that are needed. That's why these robotics and innovative technologies can be used by therapists with a little bit less of experience, for example, but with the same outcomes like key opinion leaders and people with 50 years of experience in the best US hospital.
Kateryna, in your opinion, are the European protocols the same as in Ukraine, or do we need to adjust, fine-tune them?
So it's a little bit difficult for neurological protocols because it's not an operation or knee replacement or whatever. Every neurological patient is very different. There is no two same strokes, but at least the assessments that needs to be done and the patient population can be the same. So we have done now the study with over 200,000 patients' data points, and we are creating the protocols that might be good recommendation engines for the therapists worldwide.
From your experience, is regulatory environment in Ukraine favorable for introducing European or global technology?
About protocols, yes?
Regulatory environment.
Regulatory. Of course, right now we start to, in Ukraine, update and open it to new information. We collect European practice and trying to hear it. And a lot of clinics like Unbroken and other private, government or charity foundations who will support right now rehabilitations, they're trying to download something information from around the world. And of course, anytime they're trying to send specialists to update, to collect some information, practice from different clinics around the world.
Katya, could you add that? I imagine GDPR is a big topic in terms of adoption of technology.
Yes, so first of all, I wanted to add that GDPR would be related to the data that will be transferred, but in terms of regulatory environment for the devices, we can sell the whole portfolio of the devices, starting from acute care to home rehabilitation in Ukraine. So all devices are registered, and Maksym is doing a great job supporting Ukrainian hospitals and that. But the platform that I have mentioned that is collecting data currently is not present in Ukraine. So we are GDPR compliant, we are doing the HIPAA compliance accreditation for the US. And with Ukraine, we are working with Maksym together to make it happen. But
in short period.
Yeah, hopefully that would be also combined with patient dossier, or maybe we can work with DocUA on some projects in terms of open API connectivity, because I see that big work in Ukraine is already done, and if consolidation is done, this is the biggest part in Switzerland that is missing, for example. But we are able to provide that platform here.
If we speak of development of MedTech in Ukraine, what are the opportunities for international investors? Where could they be facilitators, catalyzers of the process?
I think so. Really, a way to invest for some projects. What really right now start to grow, to create it, and focus in the big clinics who will start to update rehabilitation if we speak about in case of prosthetic orthopedic surgery. So I think so it's a potential huge market where we can provide and grow step by step in the next few years. So I clearly open and so that till next step of Ukraine rehabilitation is maybe in medical tourism after finish the work. So we wait this moment and start new period.
Kateryna, if I was a bank and I
So
had,
let me sell you this idea.
teach me.
It's not only for banks, it's also for investors, but there are big opportunities for banks as leasing institutions. We have multiple projects currently in Latin America, in Mexico, in Chile, in Brazil, where investors are investing in clinics, and it's a big potential there. They would like to open a chain of those clinics. From our perspective, we can provide not only devices, but also the business model. We can help with marketing ideas. We have done it already for over 20 years. And with our partners, such as Maksym in Ukraine, it's possible to calculate return on investment. That's for investors, and for the banks or financial institutions, it's also an opportunity to buy those devices and to give them in leasing for many rehabilitation centers, because I'm sure there would be a lot of use and necessity, and we can help the patients. That's the most important, that those patients in need who will need intensive rehabilitation in order to recover faster, they would need those devices together with a therapist.
Excellent answer, and I would like to build on it. Medical technology is something that requires continuous medical education. So do you feel, probably the more question to you, do you feel that there is enough of material base, of device base, to provide necessary education in Ukraine to build the new generation of therapists that can do the things at a new level?
This moment, education, it's not enough, and this part is open. Really, potential we have, but we don't have enough devices and specialists who ready to use it, because it's a long period. You should be, if you want to be a specialist, you should learn much more than right now we have time. So it's a fast information. So that's why we trying to promote full case solution for the clients and explain step by step how they can use different devices from the new technologies, how they can combine with different brands and different technologies to take much more successful results. So in the end, we close the cases for the clinical application, install, and after this, we support these clients to help them to introduce some practice in the European clinics with a specialist in some short cases to start to provide something individual practice and start to grow in some part of rehabilitation. So at this moment it's open, and of course we don't have enough devices, enough specialists, but we have huge potential.
With the big migration, as mentioned today, therapists have also, many therapists have fled the country, so it's a massive shortage now.
Yeah, but they're ready to come back, and they want to come and work in our country because
tempted by the technology.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's great news. Kateryna?
Yes, but I can add that partnering with a company like Hocoma, it's advantage because we have a lot of academies here organized for all the specialists all over the world to work with the devices, so we can support therapists or our partners in Ukraine remotely if it's needed, but also here in Switzerland with those academies. It takes a week to understand all 9 devices from acute care to rehabilitation, and then you're certified as the instructor on the device, and then you can also teach other people in Ukraine. We have, I think, a list of certified people back in Ukraine, so that system can be organized, but of course more devices needs to be on the field, and hopefully in teaching hospitals we can also have more devices like them in many other countries like Switzerland.
Kateryna, could you please also throw some light at how patient portals and AI application can improve the patient pathway?
Yes, of course. So currently our Hocoma is the platform that connects the devices through the whole continuum of care. If patient is getting to the acute unit, he is registered, and then up to home rehabilitation, all the information is transferred. In every step, all the information about assessments is sent to the insurances. The carers and the therapists have possibility to exchange the information in the portal with encrypted data, and we, as the provider of this portal, are not getting information about their health data, only pseudonymized data. Previously, all the assessments, like 6-minute walking test or different scales, were done on paper, and now currently is digitized. So the mechanism behind can train and suggest to the therapist what game to play on the device or what device to use. So with this data from 100,000 of patients in every point, therapists in any point of the world can make their own data-driven decision what protocols to use, and the patients, according to our data, is recovering faster, and also we are getting the full overview for the owners of the clinics about return on investment of the devices they have done. We are getting information about errors on devices if needed, something to be calibrated in advance so there is no downtime on the devices, that's called predictive maintenance. So both producers of the device, therapists, and also patients are getting benefits from the data platform that we are currently using.
Thank you, excellent. And to complete this discussion on a positive note, I would like to ask you, Maksym, and you, Kateryna, both of you, what are the next steps that you envision, and do you see the bright future for MedTech in Ukraine?
Yes, of course. We have powerful starts, and I think so. We didn't give up, and we start to grow and show the results. For example, on Broken, it's one of these example what right now show the results full. And next step, other clinics who will start his practice, start to grow, and they never give up, and they show successful, beautiful result with a beautiful cover in like a brand. And in the future, I think so we can provide all these all these cases like Zoom in the world, like other brands who can have successful results. They collect full information. They have topics successful win-win and grow in the market, and they start to be Zoom in the world, and the name start to be well known in the other countries. So it's beautiful.
Thank you, Kateryna.
From our side, we see Ukraine as the focus market for us for the next years, together with US, for example. And we really believe that we can introduce not only our devices, but also software technologies in which we have invested a lot of millions, but for the users, final users, it's so much benefit. And we believe that partnership and collaboration is a key. And it's great to see new projects coming up, and we are very open to collaboration in Ukraine through Maksym, but also feel free to talk to me directly, and I'm happy to support with rehabilitation, robotic solution, and software.
Thank you very much. On this positive note, I would like to thank all participants of today's panel. In the end of the day, health is the most important asset we all have, and probably the only one really worth investing into. So I thank you for your time. I thank you for your attention. Our speakers, those in the room as well, are available also tonight and tomorrow. File your questions, and I'm always there to facilitate you through any introductions you may need. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.